What is oh goodness, still get that cold. What is rockin' Rudy's? Hold on, put my other shoe on here. Hopefully you can. I really hope you can hear me in these because I haven't really watched them back, but from the some of the feedback that I got, you can hear me pretty decently. So we're headed to work to Ice Slice, as you can see, because it's just daylight. Pitch black. Should have probably wore a little more because it's going to be kind of cold this evening. But yeah, I'm used to it anyway. Don't really need to strap up too much. I was at my meeting yesterday, or yesterday? Was yesterday Wednesday? Yeah. And so we were talking, and somehow it came up this one topic. Okay, I ended up talking about like fourth grade for some reason. First of all, let's tell you, I'm not having the greatest of days today. The depression monster has bit into my veins, and so I thought I'd vlog a little bit and maybe boost it up. I don't know, probably not. It doesn't. Well, it does sometimes, but anyway, back to fourth grade. So, or not fourth grade. The conversation started at fourth grade, but it somehow went to first grade when. Okay, so there was this one girl. I'm pretty sure it was Jessica, and she did. I don't know what she did to me one day, but she did something like kind of mean or something, and whatever it was, I didn't like it. And so I was talking to one of my friends after school. All these trucks going by making so much loud noise. Can't even hear me. So I was talking to, I think it was Caleb that I talked to, and he said, he told me, she did something mean to you, or you should get back at her for like somehow or something. And so I was like, oh yeah, how do I do that? And he's like, well, just put a worm in her desk. And so the very next day, it was like, it wasn't pouring, but it was raining enough to where, and in Maine, whenever it rains, every single earthworm, and nightcrawler come out. So there was literally worms all over the place. Now this is first grade, mind you. So on my way to school, which wasn't super long, but long enough, I thought I would do Caleb one better and pick up every single worm on the way to school. I walked across the street for these guys. Like I wasn't just picking them up on the sidewalk where I was. If I saw one on the other side of the street, a big old wriggly night crawler, I would go across the street and pick that sucker up, put it in my hand. So I had this great big ball, this great big mass of worms in my hand. And so I remember I went earlier. I went to school earlier, so that way I could get there on time. Well, not on time, but before time. So, because the teachers were upstairs in like the teachers' lounge or whatever, doing whatever. So they would have no idea, and I had to go before the students, so no one could really see what I was doing. So I had this great big mass of worms, and I went into the classroom, and I stuck that ball of worms in her desk, and I put it back a little, like kind of far, so she didn't really see it, but far enough out where they should have seen it. And so when all the kids came in, so everyone sat down, and teacher was calling off roll call, making sure all of us students were there, and she was there. Jessica was there. I'm pretty sure it was Jessica. She was there. And hold on, big friggin' truck. So she was there, and I remember back then. I don't know if they still do it now. Well, we should. I don't know. We were doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So we were all standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. And these worms were falling out of the desk onto her feet, and she didn't notice them. And we sat back down, and they were crawling. I could see them in her desk. They were like crawling around. She didn't even notice them. They're falling on her feet. These worms and night crawlers. And so she I just like remembering this. Another truck. Okay, so I remember I was in my desk. I was like livid because I was like, well, why the heck isn't she seeing these worms? She's supposed to be seeing these worms, man. I just wanted her to see these worms so she can freak out, because I know she hates worms, because I remember I chased her around with one time. I don't know why we had such a rivalry. Actually, I did come to find out a couple of years later after that she liked me. I didn't know until a couple of years later, but I didn't really like her that much then. I mean, I thought she was cute, but I didn't really like her. She was mean to me all the time. So, but I guess that's what you're supposed to do in first grade, but whatever. Anyway, she reached she didn't reach in yet, because the teacher finally was like, okay, it's time for English or reading or whatever the heck we did back then in first grade. So she finally reached both hands into the desk, and she stuck one of her hands, there was her right hand, stuck it right in this mass of worms, and she screamed and freaked out and pulled her hand out. All these worms plopped out on her lap and on the floor and all over the place. These night crawlers, big slimy ones too. And everyone was laughing and screaming. And I was over there just trying to I was the only one in the room that had my composure kept. Because I didn't want the teacher to find out who it was. I was like, oh, it wasn't me. Oh, hold on. That's what I'm going to right now. I would. She just asked me if she wants me to work right now. I would go to work, but I'm going to work right now. Going to Ice Slice. But anyway, we got two people in the chat. Hey, so as soon as this truck goes by, I'll finish. I honestly don't know why there's so many trucks on this one little place here. There's always trucks whenever I'm trying to tell a story. But anyway, so all these worms fell over her desk when she was trying to pull her book. They're all over her book, and I'm the only one that has my composure kept. So the teacher knew exactly who it was. She knew that we both had some kind of rivalry or something going on. Oh my goodness, just go away. Drive faster. Okay, so she knew that we had this rivalry or something going on. And so she looked right at me, and she called me to the front of the class and said, can I speak to you outside? And if you go outside the class, that's curtains. That's the worst thing that could happen to you. If you end up having to go outside the class with the teacher, everyone else knows. Either they called your parents, or you went to the office, or something bad happened to you, man. You were done. So she talked to me, boy, and I was crying. I remember trying not to cry at the time, and came back into class trying to keep my composure. But then a year later, in second grade, Megan had this big old rubber spider that she knew I didn't like spiders, and Jessica knew I didn't like spiders. I'm pretty sure she was the one that probably put it up to her. So, big rubber spider, and she chased me around the classroom with that. And I remember watching this movie. I think it was like The Parent Trap or something like that, where I don't know, the Olsen twins were in it. And I remember watching that. I remember watching one of them faint to avoid some kind of conflict or something. She like pretended to faint, and so I remembered that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. So I fainted. I pretended to faint into the chair of my teacher, and she still came at me with a spider because I kept like one eye open or something stupid. Because that's what she did in the movie. She like peeked at them, see if they're still coming at her, and that's what I did. I peeked, and as soon as I saw her coming at me with a spider, I screamed, let out another scream, and took off again, running around the classroom. Everyone was laughing at me, and so then I ran outside the classroom, and no, she didn't follow me out there. So the teacher came in, and she's like, "Why are you sitting on the side of the classroom? You're supposed to be in the classroom. You're supposed to be in your chair for the, late bell or whatever." And so I went back in. I got in trouble for that. And then people were telling me that I was like, that they chased me around the room with a spider. And I got in trouble for running behind the teacher's desk. Not because I was being chased by this spider, which I was terrified of. First grade, another log truck. First grade shouldn't know that. See, now people chase me with spiders. That's another story. I'll tell you that. Things happen now. People chase me with spiders, boy. I tell you. So, then I got in trouble again because I, during class or whenever we had this first class when we had to take our books out, I looked at my desk and there it was sitting on top of all my books. This big rubber spider sitting on top of my books, and so I didn't know what to do. So I was like, "There's Mrs. O'Brien," and who was the teacher. I was like, "Mrs. O'Brien, there's a spider in my desk. They put the spider in my desk." So I got in trouble again for disrupting the class. So I got in trouble for 3 times for this one spider, and I didn't do a darn thing. Like, I was just being chased and afraid and whatever. But no, it was all my fault all 3 times. And so Megan and Jessica didn't get in any sort of trouble at all the whole class, or the whole time anyway. And it was just dumb, man. It was just dumb. So that's that little story, or both of those stories. But I'm pretty close to where I got it. I can show you where it is anyway. Finished talking about it, where I work. Been in this place one time, or maybe it was twice. I don't know. It's pretty good though. Yeah, I've been in there twice. This is a pretty good Mexican restaurant. It's good. It's called Don Tequilas. And over there, with that, I don't know if you can see it down there with that green roof. There's their green awning, brick building. That's another place called Canton, and that's another pretty good place. They got some good pork fried rice there. Nice little open place here. But yeah, today I didn't work at Hardee's today. I just worked at, I didn't work at Hardee's. They just tried to call me in when I was already going to work. But yeah, I do work there tomorrow, which is going to be absolutely fun because I work both places tomorrow. So I'm going to have a little tiny break in the middle, which I might probably vlog about something there. I do have another battle to upload also. So that'll be coming, probably not today because I just uploaded one like an hour and a half ago. But look at the mountains it's up to. It's really nice out. It felt like it was going to be cold, but it says it's only like 20 or something degrees, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels warmer to me anyway. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be part of the last few days that I'm working at Hardee's, and then I'll be done working there. It's not terrible. Like I said, it's just the hours that are killing me. I thought working in the morning that early was going to be great because I'd have the rest of the time off, but no, it turns out when you spend like 15-20 years of your life going to bed at 4 in the morning, 3 to 4 in the morning, and then you have to turn around and go to bed at 8 o'clock and wake up at 4. Doesn't work out. It's bad for your health, and it's just not good. So, but I'm here now. This is it. Right here, this building. Ice Slice. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow.